we continue with Yousei? Yousei? We say. Where'd we leave off, say? Not sure what our current objective is. Hi, Li Mei. No more questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Grumpy Panskursky. Aki know that she and Naoki need to talk to David. Aki. Can't minor in bagpiping, yes. Naoki. Frequency the thing is that Dr. Hansen's death with an accident, sad face. Li Mei. Someone is scared. Let's see, we know someone was being expelled for accessing classified information. Aaron saw Chance driving away from campus. Aaron transferred here from the rival school, which is why it seemed like we were planning the information theft on Aaron. Because they were rivals, but on interrogating Aaron about it, his explanation seems to make sense. In that they're rivals, but the rival school sort of diversified into different areas, so there's not much point in him stealing that info from here, per se. Let's see. We have Nathan and David. We're in on things here. David is Chance's ex. David's dating Jupiter now. Nathan is the pompous one of the lab trio. David's the laid back, sleepyhead one. Nathan's the one who should have, resents Jupiter for getting appointed as lab head over him. Actually, someone wanted to see my cursor. Someone wanted to see me capture cursor on this specifically, so we're gonna try and roll with that for a while. Let's see, Nathan and David swap ID cards. Aaron forgets his ID card, so may have used David's ID card at times. That's communal ID card swapping. I think the ID card went back to Nathan, and that's why we interrogated Nathan first. The number that was used to access the confidential data was tied to Nathan. It's feeling like David is sus. So we need... Aaron saw Chance driving away. Chance has wormed her way into everything here. It would be a hell of a coincidence if Chance wasn't involved in this murder whatsoever, but I find that unlikely. Okay, so I think that's a decent recall of what happened last time. On that note, let us progress, shall we? Okay, now you can actually see what we're examining. Let's see. Bro. No more questions!
Cool.
Yeah, math and science pre-owned. Computer programming. Inside cover says it belongs to some guy named Kevin. Kevin, aka the murderer from the previous game. Towel hanging off of David's bed. So obviously, since David has a connection to the murderer from the last game, David is the murderer now. Makes perfect sense. Aki, how you doing,
You
girl?
look determined. Something happened?
You could say that. Yes and no, but you're on the case now. Officially.
Finally! Why the change?
We've hit a little bit of a dead end. Remember that ID number I found?
Yeah, Nathan's, right?
Yeah, except Nathan claims someone else must have been using his card. He said it was probably Aaron. But Aaron denied it, and he's got an alibi. He also said that Nathan and David used their cards interchangeably, so...
So we've got evidence of a crime and no one to pin it on.
Correct! Gursky says you and Naoki are supposed to interview David.
Convenient. Well, it shouldn't take long for us to figure out what's up. Where is he?
The library.
Good.
Aki's eyes close for a split second, and she nods lightly.
Let's get going then.
The two of us move across the campus at a brisk pace, stopping outside the student lounge where Naoki waits for us.
We have work?
That we do. He looks pleased.
Yep. Interrogation.
Who?
David, still trying to figure out the approach.
What are we looking for?
We found evidence that someone's been stealing information and selling it off to Edgewater's rival school, Western State.
Why don't we try a home invasion?
Am I lifting?
Oh?
That's usually easier. Unless Khan wants to try?
What? Whose home are we invading here? What am I lifting? I have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I have to go talk to Jupiter.
Fair enough, but we'll teach you how to lift a wallet someday.
Oh, okay. I'm just going right in on that. Fair enough. You mean steal?
Shouldn't you be interviewing Jupiter right now?
Shouldn't you be interviewing David right now?
Well, I would be if you weren't keeping me here talking to you.
Well, fair enough then. I wave Aki off with an exaggerated sigh. I'm going. I'll meet you guys outside the library, okay?
See you there.
I love this delinquent duo. I wave my card on the reader outside the lab, and the door opens with a soft electronic beep. Jupiter must be in, if the front door is still open to me. I rap on the doorframe as I enter the lab. Hey, do you have a moment? You broke into the fucking lab.
I do, but please make it brief. I have a lecture soon.
Ooh. Have you ever used Nathan's ID card to log in?
You mean that childish game they play, swapping cards with each other? No, I do not partake in it.
You seem too... professional for nonsense like that. But you know about it.
They think they can, how is it said, defeat the system.
Yeah.
I know they do not always arrive on time, but it is wiser to let them believe they are winning.
Yeah, fair enough.
Otherwise, they may devise a trick even harder to keep track of.
Fair enough. And I don't suppose you come here to work late.
Of course I work late, you know that.
Fair enough. How late?
Maybe 10 or 11. Why do you want to know?
Does that line up with some of the timing? Okay, no, it doesn't. Someone's been logging in every other week. Late. Like, after midnight late.
Yes, Nathan. I brought that to Dr. Johansen's attention.
You got that from his ID number?
Is that what this is about?
I'm not sure, but we think whoever was logging in with Nathan's card was selling off information. Maybe to Western?
I find that difficult to believe. But I cannot say it is an impossibility. I will search the records more thoroughly later, but for now I must leave, or else I would be late for my lecture.
Right, I get it. I'm leaving now. Leave the lab before Jupiter can politely kick me out. She's just doing her best. That wasn't as fruitful as I had hoped. I'm pretty sure Jupiter was telling the truth. Hopefully Aki and Naoki had better luck. Let's go watch the home invasion. I arrive at our meeting point, but I don't see either of the twins.
Yokon!
Oh, there we are.
Did we keep you waiting long?
Aki and Naoki approach the library. They look excited. Not really. I'm afraid I didn't learn very much, though. Still no idea who was using the card.
Oh, no worries there. It was David.
What? How'd you get him to confess? Very carefully.
We're very convincing.
I know that much. Aki smiles proudly. Uh-huh. So he was the one selling information off to Western?
Yeah, not so much. He was the one logging in with Nathan's ID, but...
He was dating Chance at the time.
He was selling test answers to students.
Oh, that's different.
Johansen did talk to him about it, but he gave him a second chance. Seeing how far the test scores have fallen since their talk, I'm inclined to give David the benefit of the doubt.
Except now we don't have a motive anymore. I groan and rub my forehead. I can definitely feel a headache coming on. maybe we're coming at this the wrong way.
How so?
We've been trying to find a motive and tack it to a person. And we should try finding someone with the opportunity, then we can work out the motive. For instance, Nathan and David were together in the lab, so they alibi out.
Actually...
What?
David confessed that he didn't go to the lab yesterday morning. He said it was Nathan's turn to wake up early, so he slept in. He didn't see Nathan until almost 11 o'clock.
Can we believe him? Aaron said he was asleep for most of the morning, so he can't confirm it.
You're right, but that means both David and Nathan aren't in the clear anymore.
David? Same could be said of Jupiter. If none of them saw anyone else yesterday, login times hardly mean anything. Do we really think Jupiter's the type to do? If it turns out that Jupiter is the type to do a murder, that would be a hell of a twist. Add to that the fact that Aaron saw Chance on campus earlier today.
In other words, we're back at the beginning.
Aki sighs and shakes her head.
Fine, divide and conquer. We're talking to everyone again.
David just left to teach class, and Nathan's still out too.
And Jupiter's got a lecture, so... Jupiter said she's got a lecture to teach. Aki closes her eyes and lets out a quiet breath.
Well, I just told Li Mei to talk to Aaron.
That leaves Sean and Chance. Which one do you want?
Neither. Sean, I guess? Maybe if I'm lucky, he'll give me a free pen or something.
Alright, we'll talk to Chance.
Be careful.
Meet you back at the fountain afterwards?
Sure. Twins accompany me to the student lounge and we part ways. Sean is reclining in one of the chairs, absent-mindedly scrolling through something or other on his phone. Hey.
Yo, you look like you've got an important mission.
I feel like I might have said this before in past videos, but with Sean, they absolutely nailed the aesthetic of the university advocate, the tour guide. It's... I 100% believe that if I went to Edgewater and took a tour, I would meet someone like Sean. Like, this is a real dude. Make a dude who will give you a tour of university and sell you on coming here. Kinda. I just have a few more questions about yesterday.
More? What else is there?
Just double checking a few things. No big deal.
Well, feel free to ask away.
You've never used Nathan's ID card to log in anywhere, have you?
What? Why would I do that?
That's a good question. It was just a question.
Well, it's kind of a weird question.
Yeah? The door to the student union opens and Li Mei enters. She looks serious. Her eyes light up as soon as she sees me. Hello, Li Mei.
We have found something.
You mean you and Aaron? Li Mei nods and hands me one of the photos that Aaron snapped yesterday. Oh? Aaron's not a bad photographer. Bike. Wait, this was taken yesterday? I don't remember seeing that bike. Someone must have been in the tower when Aaron took this. That is a cute picture, though. Now keep my son.
Oh, is that one of Aaron's photos? He's a little overzealous sometimes. I can ask him to tone it down if you want.
Actually, I pointed at the bike in the background. Is there any way of telling who uses the campus bikes?
Not really, man. I mean, it's not like we tag him or anything. Sorry. Wish I could be more help.
You're doing your best. Li Mei frowns and takes a step towards him.
No.
Huh?
Is there anything you're not telling us? Sean laughs nervously. Oh, Li Mei senses that something's up.
It's nothing important. Just,
Li Mei knows. If it's not important, you shouldn't have any problem telling us, right?
Well, that bike's from one of our older fleets.
Okay, what does that mean? And?
When the first fleet started getting worn out, the school sold them off to students. That was maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
5 or 6 years, so... Either it belongs to Bluda Blutarski or, belongs to a grad student. Which we know a few.
My family donated a new set, but they're a different color.
Wait, if that's the case, my mind is churning. There's only one person who could have been at the bell tower during the time Dr. Johansson was killed. Li Mei and Sean stare at me expectantly.
You have it.
Li Mei knows.
What's up, man?
I know who the killer is.
What killer?
Dr. Johansson's. Oh, wait,
Hang on. You're telling me someone murdered him?
someone definitely murdered him, and Aaron managed to capture the killer's bike in this photo.
You sure of that?
It was you, Sean. Nathan went to the lab. David slept in. I mean, let's face it, it's Nathan or David. One of these two doing a cycling. This motive kind of ditches David, though. Either Nathan or David. Oh, we're on the solution now. Nathan did it.
Nathan? Do you have any proof?
Yes, that's his bike in the photo.
But how can you tell?
You said that those bikes were sold off to students 5 years ago. You and Nathan were the only students here at that time.
There are plenty of grad students who were here 5 years ago.
But none on this campus. The main campus maybe, but not here. If you wanted a bike, you'd just buy a new one. You hate being associated with your family, so there's no way you'd use their famous bikes. Sean's eye twitches, but he doesn't reply. Nathan claimed he was in the lab all morning, but he doesn't have a real alibi. Jupiter says she didn't see him until later, and David was sleeping in his room. Nathan could have logged in at 10, left to meet Dr. Johansson, and snuck back in later without anyone noticing. And David would have to lie to back up his alibi if he wanted one too.
Are you sure? I mean, he seems like a pretty great guy.
Yes, I'm certain. Sean sighs and runs his fingers through his hair.
Well, I think he just got done teaching a class, so he's probably in the sleep lab.
The sleep lab?
Yeah, he lives off campus, so he usually crashes there for a while before his next class.
Are you sure?
Well, definitely. He wouldn't be anywhere else.
Thanks, you've been a big help. I turn to leave, but Sean grabs my shoulder.
Hang on.
What's up?
Well, if he's really the murderer, don't you think it's kind of a bad idea for you two to confront him?
I am more than safe with Li Mei by my side. Sean looks surprisingly uncomposed. Is he nervous? I think we can handle it.
But why take the risk? Maybe you should go get that cop to help you out.
Where is Gursky anyways?
He doesn't know you're after him. There's no hurry.
Actually, that's where you're wrong. The longer we wait, the more he's gonna think about running.
Okay, but...
We're going now. Li Mei and I leave before Sean can protest anymore. Guns over my shoulder before the front door closes. Sean's making a mad dash for the cafeteria. Chance, holy fuck! What was that about? I turn to Li Mei. Something doesn't feel right, does it? Li Mei shakes her head. Both of us feel uneasy, especially after seeing Sean's swift departure. As we approach the lab, we see Nathan exit the front door. He looks like he's in a hurry. He knows! Sean must have had second thoughts and given him a call. Nathan looks up at us, and I see panic flash across his face. He turns and runs back into the building. Go around! Without hesitation, Li Mei sprints around the side of the building. I run for the front door and throw it open before it can close all the way. I catch up to Nathan quickly, and grab his shirt, whirls around and pulls away from my grasp.
Let me go.
He pulls his light sword out and points it directly at me. Oh boy, what are you gonna do with that, big boy? You can't threaten me with a prop sword. With a determined grunt, Nathan smashes the blade of his sword against the floor. The end shatters in a small rain of glass shards. He points the jagged glass blade at me and turns it slowly. The sharp end glistens in the bright light. Well shit, alright.
Let me go.
Okay, I may have spoken prematurely. Take a slow step towards him. Can you just tell me why you killed Dr. Johansson? Nathan glares and tightens his grip.
Don't mourn him. He was a coward, too afraid to make use of the power he had.
Okay, now you're matching
He
up with your
didn't
expression.
deserve to have it.
The power he had. And you do?
I deserve it more than you.
What power? Wait, you're missing a step here, dude. Nathan races towards me and swings his sword at me. Jump back, but the glass tears into my shoulder. Oh shit. Jesus! Ah! Clutch my shoulder and feel something warm between my fingers. I hold my hand tight against my shoulder to slow the blood, and I try to ignore the sting. Guess he wasn't kidding about all that sword training.
It's not fair.
Nathan's practically screaming by now.
Why do you get to have it when I can't?
Swings the shattered blade at me again. I stumble back, barely escaping another cut. What are you talking about? With an angry cry, he thrusts the sword towards me, driving the glass into my thigh. Jesus! My leg collapses under my weight, and I take a desperate limb backwards. Blood rushes from my leg faster than I thought possible. Li Mei, help!
You really are a waste of dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood? What? Jesus! I stumble into the wall and slide down to the ground. My body feels cold. I know this feeling. The sting of death, but this time it's me. It takes a moment for me to realize that I'm genuinely scared. I'm so used to the terror I felt in others that now it feels like a distant observation. Blood pulses relentlessly from the cut in my leg. It must have sliced through something major. Nathan lifts the sword over his head and brings it down onto my head. Oh, Jesus! In my last bitter moment, I shut my eyes and brace for impact. The impact never comes. Ah! I open my eyes to see Li Mei standing over me. She's blocked the sword with her hand. The last tip of the sword has broken off and gone straight through her palm, but she isn't bleeding? Vision is getting blurrier, but I think her hand is sparking. Nathan releases the sword with a terrified squeak. Li Mei inspects her hand calmly and flexes it. It's still impaired on a long shard of glass. My girl, are you a robot? Her gaze turns to Nathan with another inhuman shriek. He turns and runs. Li Mei takes chase and overtakes him easily. With a fluid motion, she kicks his legs out from under him, and he falls to the ground. He struggles to get up, but she slams her foot into his back, pinning him down. He draws the long glass shard from her hand and presses it to the back of his neck. I barely make out Nathan's terrified cries, but Li Mei looks disturbingly calm. Li Mei! Barely managed to whisper her name, but somehow she hears me. She opens her eyes to survey her work. Looks down at Nathan as if it's the first time she's seen him. With a quiet gasp, she tosses the glass blade away and takes a step back from him. It's at a grateful, sobbing moan, and scrambles away from her, desperately clawing at the tiled floor. Li Mei rushes to my side, and her eyes widen at the sight of all my blood.
Kangai!
I take a shaky breath. I really underestimated him. I'm trying not to be too cut up about it. It's supposed to be a joke, but neither of us laugh. Li Mei presses one hand against my open wound and pulls out her phone with the other. I think it might be too late for that. It's even harder to breathe. My head is starting to feel light. Li Mei stubbornly shakes her head and he dials a number on her phone. Whatever conversation she has sounds like little more than frenzied sounds to my ears. As soon as she hangs up, she places her other hand on my leg. Down at the hole in the back of her hand, left by the glass from Nathan's sword. It's hard to tell, but I think I see wires. My blood is seeping through the hole, spilling out over her hands. It looks like you're bleeding. I think that was supposed to be a joke too, but I can't tell anymore. I'm even trying to tell jokes right now. I'm cold, Li Mei. I don't think.
No!
Li Mei cuts me off with an emphatic cry.
Don't go. You can't go.
Body shivers. I realize that with all my blood on her, she's probably having a hard time even staying conscious.
If you go, I'll be sad.
My vision grows blurrier, but I manage to place my hand on hers. Don't be. It's getting harder to feel anything. Take a deep breath, and my chest shudders. I only wish I had more time. My grip on Li Mei's hand relaxes and the darkness claims me. Holy fuck! That was a fucking... Oh! Girl. You and Jeremy... Trans woman. Oh my goodness! Wow! Oh my god! What? That's a distinct first half of things that are, there's still one BG we're missing. It feels like we're missing an entire route here, almost. Wow. That was a lot to take in. For that matter, let's go. Let's accuse some other people. It was you, Sean.
What? Are you kidding? I couldn't have. I was with you nearly all morning, remember? Then I came straight here. Ask the staff. You even saw me.
But that left a gap of a few minutes where you could have killed him.
A few minutes isn't even enough time to climb the stairs of the bell tower.
Kangai.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make much sense, huh?
So, who's the killer?
Okay, so we can waffle through it here. We can accuse David. David did it.
Are you sure?
Well, just a hunch.
But we already spoke with him.
Right. Is this a 3 strikes we're out here deal? But Chance did it.
You think my girlfriend did it?
Who else?
She was at work all morning. Ask anyone in the coffee shop and they'll tell you.
Sean glares at me.
I'd really appreciate it if you didn't make such wild accusations.
You're right, I wasn't thinking.
So do you know who the killer is or not?
Okay, so we're just gonna... Okay, so there's no bad ending for failing to guess. Ooh! Give Li Mei glasses! We've unlocked... We can give Li Mei glasses. The most important feature in the game has been unlocked. Li Mei glasses confirmed. Excellent. I am happy with this. Mei glasses on. Save game. Suppose we should try and... rewind somewhat. See where the point of divergence could be. Really wasn't that much, was there? Only thing I suppose that could change is we could figure out what happened earlier. Oh gosh. How do we even get around this? It's rewind time. Get your hands off me! Pull away from the guy holding me, David or something. You have no right to treat me this way. The old woman glares at me.
And you had no right to break in here and steal our research. I'm amazed that you actually came back.
I size up three people in front of me. I'm pretty sure I could outrun all of them, but it's a long sprint to the door. Anyone else shows up to stop me, I'm done for. I sigh and hold up my hands. Fine, leave me to wherever this lab is and we'll talk. Just don't touch me, okay?
David, Nathan, take him in.
David escorts me down the hallway with the other two following closely behind. War Stars, Nathan I guess, brandishes his light sword at me, as if it's a useful weapon of some sort. It sure is a useful weapon, as we find out. At the end of the hall, David ushers me into a small, sparsely furnished room. Let's move along. I'm just trying out some different choices right about now. Just surprised to see that this guy looked at me. Looks like me, that's all. Jupiter sighs and glances briefly at the mirrors set in the wall. Oh. Guess David and Nathan are on the other side watching me. They're probably analyzing my reactions or something. Ah, yes.
I don't have time for this.
Hi, Gursky. Hi, Chance. We know she kind of backpedals from her alibi when we don't bite on it. Let's bite this time and see what happens. Yeah, I was at the coffee shop.
That's not possible. Our cameras caught you.
Well, your cameras are wrong. I know what I saw.
Chance stomps her foot on the ground as if to prove a point, and Jupiter doesn't seem impressed.
There's no need for your theatrics, Bertha.
But Chance flinches at the mention of her birth name. Looks like these two don't get along very well. I'm not sure I want to know their history.
Officer, you can't trust the testimony of a witness who is clearly biased towards the accused.
Whoa, I don't know if she's biased towards me, but it is weird to say that she'd go out of her way to help me out with this situation. Gursky looks at me with a critical eye. I turn my head to avoid his gaze.
Show me the video you mentioned earlier.
Of course. Follow me.
It is Naoki who eventually notices the finer details of it. And gets us off eventually. Gursky points at me.
You come with us.
I what?
I'm not letting you out of my sight, kid. Now get up and let's go.
Let's figure this out. Oh yeah, thanks, Naoki.
I suppose, but it's still a flimsy alibi.
Let's see. Quick save, quick load.
Combined with an eyewitness account of you somewhere else, though,
She bites her lip.
something feels wrong here, but I won't deny the evidence.
Maybe you could call it reasonable doubt? I mean, it's enough of a difference to think it might be someone else, right?
We'll see after the police sort it out.
Where'd that police dude go anyway?
I just want you to know that I'm not the guy in that video.
You know, the more you say it, the less trustworthy you sound.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let me be honest with you. I'm not above saying there's reasonable doubt.
That's fair.
The video is blurry, your hair is different. Maybe it's not you. But the way you're behaving doesn't instill much trust. You're clearly hiding something.
Yes, I am, but not about the thing you think it is. Ah, she's sharp. We all have our secrets, don't we?
Yes, but mine is simply an obsession with fantasy movies. Yours is...
That's forthcoming. She looks troubled.
I sense that you've been feeling guilty for a while.
Well,
Hey, did you miss me?
yes. Aki pokes her head into the room and flashes me a teasing grin. Anyways, we've been through some shit. I do kind of wonder if this changes anything. Sorry, but he died.
What? You're kidding, right?
Not really. I'm sorry. Wow, that was probably the worst way to inform someone of a death ever.
What happened? Was it here?
Yeah, Aaron and Kizuki were the ones who found the body.
First his old research is stolen, and now this.
Jupiter begins to absentmindedly chew on her nail. What? What are you talking about?
I can't be sure, but...
She stands abruptly.
I'm sorry, but I have a lot of work to do. Can you both leave now?
Rosa's here with us? Li Mei's here. That's right, Bun. Li Mei casts a final longing glance at the rabbit before following me out of the lab. Goodbye.
Yikes, dude. If I had been there, I would have cleared everything up as quickly as I could.
That's okay. I told them he didn't do it.
She giggles, rests her elbows on the table, and props her head up in her hands. She and Sean both look at me expectantly. Yeah, thanks. Feeling that I owe her something lies like a weight in my stomach. Li Mei gives my shirt a gentle tug, and glances at her from the corner of my eye. It's clear she wants to go. If it's not too much trouble, we're gonna go eat now. It's been a long day for both of us.
Oh, of course. We were just on our way out anyway.
Sean smiles and gives us both an overly enthusiastic wave. He drapes his arm over Chance's shoulder, and the two of them leave the cafeteria. How lovely. As soon as the door shuts, Li Mei turns to me. She looks worried. What's wrong?
That girl was there before.
Before?
At the coffee shop. She was there.
Oh, yeah. Kind of a weird coincidence, huh? We've seen this before, yep. Gentlemen? Sure, I'll wait here. That seemed fine before. I was pleasant reconciling with Aki. Aki's still doing her absolute best. Aaron is doing his thing. Aaron is sleeping. Prepared Tversky, talk to the students. It's very early right now. Naoki says nothing. Understandable. Aki says check out the bell tower. Alright, I think we're gonna be rolling through here. Li Mei? Li Mei. Hey.
Hey, Kangai. Looking for something?
Yeah, you, actually.
Mission accomplished. Can I help you with something?
Just wanted to talk.
About?
Dr. Johansson. Jupiter leans and folds her arms.
About his death, you mean? Did you see the body?
I nod.
How was it? How did he die?
Not well. Ooh, it's an interesting... We could backtrack on it. Don't know what to make of that. It's definitely a different branch of... Let's plant the thought. Looked like he was killed on purpose.
Murder?
I don't know how many endings this has. Like, Yousei had a few failure states. And then the ending where you solve the case. Kansei had like two distinct routes where each route had its failure state and a state where yeah, each route of Kansei had its own failure state and a state where you solve the case. Like a fallback failure state of sorts. And then the end where you solve the case there. We've seen a failure state. We identified the culprit. Don't provoke the culprit. Identify the culprit, confront the culprit, and get killed. So the question is... Can we fail worse than that? We'll find out. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, it could have been an accident.
Not likely. He was a careful man and had no reason to be in the bell tower in the first place.
This
This all seems very deliberate. I'm inclined to agree with your assessment.
I kind of trust you, Jupiter. It might be good to have you thinking about this. He sighs and crosses her arms across her chest.
This is bad.
How so? She raises an eyebrow at me.
Because a great man just passed away in a tragic way?
Good point. Oh, yeah. Way to go, man. As if you could make it any more obvious that this is normal for you. She probably thinks I'm some kind of sociopath now.
What about Eren? How is he doing?
I think we can move on now. Not so well.
I should probably visit him sometime to see how he's doing.
He didn't look very happy when I last saw him. I think he just wants to sleep for a bit. She nods sympathetically.
He deserves some rest.
Alright, so we can move through this normally. Do you know why someone would want Dr. Johansson dead?
So, you really don't think it was an accident then? Honestly, I don't know what to think. It's entirely possible that this was an accident. Maybe a heart attack? His heart is still experimental after all.
Whoa, he had a fake heart?
Partially. It was built from a reproduction of his own tissue, but some parts were manufactured.
Oh wow, this is new information. Wasn't Alton Engineering working on something like that?
They're the ones funding most of our research. William Alton donated a lot of money to the school. I think he cared a lot for his alma mater.
Oh.
The heart was still in testing stages, but Dr. Johansson's heart was in such a bad state, he decided to take the risk. As strange as the circumstances of his death are, I'm hard-pressed to think of anyone who would want to kill him.
Fair. You and Chant don't get along? Anything to do here? Nope. No more questions. It's a printer. Her printer. Unskip. There's a row of printers against the wall. The furthest one has a blinking red light. What's wrong with your printer?
Ignore it. It broke nearly half a year ago, but we rarely touch it. Dr. Johansson is the only one who keeps trying to use it.
The screen on the printer reads, 1 print job in queue. Dr. Johansson tried to print something? It may have been important. I fixed the printer, I can see what he was working on. It's Jupiter, I probably shouldn't try to fix this thing while she's here. Imagine one who can check up on Eren. But I could convince her to go see him, but I don't know how much time that will buy me. Is there a way to stall her after she leaves? Li Mei. Sinks. Laptop, University of Edgewater. No more questions.
You know where to find me.
Alright. Front door, back door, main lab. Sleep lab. Come talk. Li Mei wants to talk. I give way too much interest. Did we make a mistake? With Aki pointing that out for us. I'm gonna be really curious if this turns out to be a bad ending. Telling Jupiter that Johansson died. Hi. No more questions. Suppose we're going back to dorm. Li Mei? You stall it for me? No more questions.
Okay.
So, what else we got? Eren still sleeps, call later. Gotta do some more jazz. Doing Union. Hi Naoki, hi Sean. How you feeling? You had that intimate conversation about your history. Explains why you set out on your own to looking after each other, why you're so close and protective of each other. The unfortunate situation. Taking chance, yep, not that serious. No more questions. Hi, Chance. Thanks, Chance.
Oh, Kangai, have you heard? It's...
Yep.
See, we already have the witty banter part down.
I don't know why she's so interested in me, but it's making me feel uncomfortable. Now she's trying to participate in the investigation? I don't want to share any information with her, but at the same time, keeping her close might be a good idea. Well... The assistant, sure. I guess having extra help couldn't hurt.
Yay! We're going to have so much fun!
Oh no, there's nothing fun about someone dying, accident or not.
Just trying to lighten the mood. You really are a sourpuss.
Alright. Zip. As my assistant, don't you think you should tell me what you think?
Well, if that's the case, I guess I'm most suspicious of Kizaki.
Good point, but nah. Why don't you get along? No more questions. Let's see, where else can we go here?
Okay.
Oh, let's look after Big Sis. Mental sleeps. Don't know who we can trust. Oh, don't need to apologize. Bell tower.
And that's as far as you go.
May have possibly picked up something from Mr. Alton's place. Active Gursky groans.
You took evidence from the crime scene.
Yeah. He shakes his head.
Aki's rubbing off on you.
A little bit. Hey, I didn't exactly know who to trust, okay?
You still don't trust me?
You're my handler. How do I know you're not reporting all my dirty little secrets to a board of men in black suits sitting in a dark room?
I usually give the reports on Casual Friday, so no black suits.
Hilarious.
If I tell you I'm not, would you believe me?
We'll work on it.
What about if I remind you that I still haven't arrested you yet?
Okay, we're working on it further. Okay, but...
And that I didn't tell Schultz that I saw you pocket something at Mr. Otten's place right before that mess with Kevin.
Wait, you knew?
Of course I knew. It is my job to notice these things.
Why didn't you say anything about it?
Actually, I think I just did.
Okay, fair.
So what was it?
At SD card, documents, and jazz. Dr. Henson in the bell tower. Any suspects? Working on it. Now he recalls the scene. No more questions. No more questions.
Don't wander off.
I saw a butterfly. Alright, alibi gathering. Chance is kind of weirding me out, too. Just became her assistant. More questions?
Okay.
Sean! More questions?
Feel free to come by anytime.
Actually, we have questions. More questions?
Feel free to come by anytime.
Chance is still here? Hello, assistant. Where are you? Just tell me where you were.
Fine, suspect your own assistant. If you must know, I was at work. I don't have to be on campus until noon, but I wanted to bring Sean lunch. So I guess I arrived here a little after 11 o'clock?
Did anyone else see you before then?
I don't know, maybe? What does it matter? You're just going to suspect me anyway.
There's no need to be hostile about it, I'm just asking. No more questions.
Well, let me know if I can help more.
Oh. Let's see, library gang.
Kangai, perfect timing.
We're gonna be a downer. Debbie Downer. Where were you? That's the lab. We know Nathan did it, but... Any quarrels with anyone recently?
Not that I can think of. Why?
With you, a little bit. talk to Jupes. Which, okay, Jupes is kind of a cute nickname. Where were you?
Here at the lab. Why? And by curious, you mean I'm a suspect.
Everyone is.
That's fair. Random killings are more unlikely after all.
Yeah.
Well, I got here around 9.
She's really been... If anyone could be trusted with the information that Dr. Johansson was dead and was probably murdered, it would be Jupiter.
I was the only one here at the time. I always check the labs to make sure everything is in order before I start working.
She's probably the most trustworthy of the lab folks. You know how you can prove this?
Sure, I logged in using my student ID.
You know how unreliable that is, but again, you are trustworthy.
I didn't see either of them until I met you.
Since I logged in, they may not have been here. For instance, one of them could have used both cards.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I tried to give them freedom to show that I trust them, but such a thing can be abused.
No more questions.
You know where to find me.
I think that's everybody. Possibly not. Oh, Aaron? Thank you, Li Mei. Sleep lab, virtually meaningless. A little soap opera going on here. Got that right. What else can we talk to? Student housing. Hi, Li Mei. Blood reactions.
Okay.
Speaking of that bad ending, if Li Mei really was having a blood reaction there, that was a... It definitely felt like a distinct change in her. Is that... Oh, Aaron's still sleeping. Is that... It's ambiguous enough that I could believe that it's... let's spill the tea first. Ambiguous enough that I could believe that it's just her devastated by losing a new friend, her first friend, a new friend.
Well, let me know if I can.
But also there is the question of blood reaction. Kursky? Pretty sure we talked to everyone. Yep. More questions. So who's next? Confirm all the alibis we can.
Don't wander off.
Yes, boss. Okay, well... More questions?
You know where to find me.
Okay, well, it got a little bit of new content in the second half of this. Really, I'm just rolling through here at this point. Nothing new to say here. Nothing to say here.
Okay.
No more questions. Chance, anything new for us? Nope.
Well, let me know if I can help more.
No more questions. There we go. Bray?
Hey, are you lost?
Oh, there we go. You're back. No more questions.
Later.
No more questions.
See you.
Aaron stirs. Alright, let's handle Aaron. And call it a video. No more questions.
Okay.
Hey, bro. Let's go through here. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Okay.
Now we can send Jupiter over to check up on Aaron. And I, the security pet. It'd be nice to know the code. Chance works in the lab, right? She must know. Oh, I'm not too thrilled about playing into a detective and assistant fantasy, but it looks like this might work in my favor. Stroll to the main building, trying hard to look casual as I do. Thankfully, most prying eyes are focused on the bright yellow police tape on the bell tower nearby. Morbid curiosity, you never fail. I made my way through the lounge quickly, trying hard not to make eye contact with Sean or Naoki. But all boss boy, I'd rather not let anyone know what I'm doing.
Hey, partner. How's it going?
Swell! I kinda need your help with something.
I knew it! We're going to solve a mystery!
We're gonna break and enter. Don't get so excited, I just need you to unlock the lab for me.
Ooh, what are you looking for?
Kinda short on time right now, let's get going.
No!
No?
We're supposed to be partners. You tell me what you're looking for.
Chance, we don't have time.
You're right, so you'd better hurry up and tell me. Or you could just leave now, and I can tell Jupiter you tried to sneak into the lab while she was gone.
Ooh, you... Fine, I promise I'll tell you after I get it.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Right, let's go. Chance and I hurry to the lab as she punches in a long string of numbers into the security pad.
I expect you'll hold to our bargain. Otherwise...
I get it. I duck into the hallway before Chance can threaten me anymore. Alright, let's go. Right, lab. Printer. Hello, tech support. Oh, we can still go inside. We can still hang out in the sleep lab. Aki. Figure out what the numbers are. Let's figure out whose numbers these are. Yeah. Hi, Gursky.
Don't wander off.
Let's go see if we can give Chance. Satisfy Chance's curiosity.
Feel free to come by anytime.
Okay.
Oops, don't do that.
Hello, Mr. Detective.
You seem cheerful.
Naturally. Tell me what sort of secret thing you discovered in the lab.
I sigh.
You don't have to, but...
Yeah, I know.
So spill it already.
Found a message from Dr. Johansson telling someone that they're going to be expelled.
Ooh, who is it?
David.
Oh dear, but he seems so nice.
Hey, that doesn't mean he did it. You can't just jump to conclusions like that.
Oh, of course not. It's just circumstantial, right? But it sure looks bad for David.
No more questions.
Well, let me know if I can help more.
You did help, I suppose. It saves
Okay.
Naoki from having to put himself through more traumatic experiences. Aiding and abetting a breaking and entering. That was a whopper sentence. Okay. So... that's a somewhat different. I suppose we'll see. It's at this point when we're working out David's motive. We're pretty close to the end, so if this is different, I suppose we'll see. We shall see. Until next time, though, until then, get a whopper bad ending, And we've partnered up with Chance, for better or for worse. This is actually the way to get the best ending. We haven't really gotten anything from our partnership with Chance. Anything we got from Chance, we already could have gotten by engaging the services of Aki and Naoki. But we'll see what comes of that beyond this. I suppose our experience with Chance from the Yousei bad ending and the stinger of Kansei might be coloring our perception of this crime, because unless we're missing something more, it doesn't seem like it's directly involved. But then again, we don't really have the full context here. Oh. Unless Chance's involvement isn't going to culminate in this game. You never know. I vaguely remember somewhere that this is, that they might be working on another entry in this series? So maybe the running storyline of Chance's involvement and Li Mei, maybe that doesn't pay off in this game. Maybe they're meaning for it to pay off further down the line. You just have to sort out whatever came up here with Nathan and Dragon's Blood and Kangai. Dragon's Blood? What is that? We'll find out next time. Until then, though,